Hello and welcome to another episode of the Asian Seller Podcast. I'm your host Meghla Bhardwaj, and today we are talking to Farah Zaidi from Brunei, who is the winner of our very first Spark Ecom Scholarship. Hi Farah, how are you doing today?
Hi, Megla. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to talk to you. I mean, we've talked a couple of times on Zoom, and I've heard about your story and what inspires you. But I'm really excited for you to share with everybody, what your e-commerce story is, your personal story, and how you're planning to utilize all that you've got with the e-commerce scholarship. For people who are not aware of what Spark Ecom Scholarship is, let me just quickly give an overview. So this is a $2,000 scholarship that we gave to that we offered to basically sellers from all around the world last year. And we asked sellers to send in a video telling us why they should receive this scholarship. And Farah's video was super creative, very innovative, and all of the judges immediately chose Farah as the winner when we saw her video. And so, with this scholarship, what the winner gets is basically access to a 2-day training course worth almost $1,000 from Jason Tay. And apart from that, also free access to Helium 10 for 7 months. And then a lot of different training sessions, coaching sessions with Jason, with me, with Margaret, and with a lot of other e-commerce experts as well. So basically, we want to support one person to start their e-commerce business, and Farah is the one. So Farah, let's start from the beginning. Do you want to tell us about yourself and your background? Where do you live? Where do you work? What have you studied? Like, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, okay. I would love to. Okay, so I was born and raised in Brunei. Brunei is basically a small country that is situated on Borneo Island, and it's a 2 hours flight from Singapore for those who don't know where Brunei is. Um, it, I have been in pharmaceutical sales for about 5 years now. I have been promoting and selling, medication drugs such as drugs for stroke, anti-diabetic, cardiovascular drugs, and, to name a few. Before that, I was doing my undergrad studying biotechnology in university in the States. And that's just a little bit about my background.
Yeah. And tell us about your childhood as well, because in your video, it was very interesting. You said that you were used to actually paint stones and sell them to your classmate, and also, draw cartoons and sell them to your classmates as well. So what was that all about? And I mean, did you sort of have this entrepreneurial spirit in you, right, in your childhood as well?
Okay, yeah, a good question. So my parents used to own a store that rented, those huge VCRs and DVDs. And, as time, passed, they were selling video games and, things like that. So as a child, I used to spend a lot of time at the store, especially like after school or even during the weekends. I would, come over to the store while my parents work. I would be playing games usually, because we have like some PlayStation and stuff like that. But for the most part, I was in an environment where there's a lot of buying and selling involved, being around like customers. So like, I guess I wanted to, venture into my own little business gigs from there. So I started out, doing just simple things like collecting rocks outside of my house. I would paint them, different colors with like, the spray aerosols or even like paint brushes. Like I would use like all sorts of different colors, but I realized that using spray paints was the most, efficient way of just spraying the rocks and making it look really nice. So I did that. And I brought it to school and sold them for $1. And then I realized that I brought my brother into this little business as well and asked him to, help out with the selling as well. So I was, pretty much the person who was preparing the rocks to be colored, and then he would be the one going around selling rocks to his friends for like $1. So we made a little bit of a good money from there.
That is very creative indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about cartoons? You were drawing cartoons too?
Yes, so I was a huge anime fan and I love cartoons. And I used to draw a lot of like animes, and not just anime, just like famous cartoons back then, like Powerpuff Girls, or even Lilo and Stitch, things like that, and just creating my own storylines, and then just rented rented the comic books to my friends for like 50 cents or something, or 20 cents for my friends as a discounted price.
Already offering promotions and offers,
Pretty
right?
much. I did delve into garage sales as well as a child. I used to have, as you grow older, obviously there's going to be like some toys that you don't play around with anymore. So what I used to do is like I would, take out all my old toys together with my brother's old toys that he doesn't want. I would bring them, collect them together, and we would have like a little garage sale outside of our house, and our neighbors would like walk past and like buy one or two, maybe out of pity, but at least it it worked. I think we only sold two items that day.
And were your parents supportive of these
Yes,
ventures?
they were really supportive. Because I remember my dad used to, he used to import a few keychains just to put outside his store. So he would give me some, maybe like maybe 30 keychains. And this was like Lilo and Stitch keychains. And I used to sell them at school. And it worked so much better by selling at school than selling at the store. So so we're just like experimenting, selling at different location. And I was having a lot of fun with it.
Right. And then you also won a scholarship, right? I mean, when you was that for your undergrad, or what was the scholarship for? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so it was for my undergrad degree. I did my O-level and A-level exams in Brunei, and then after that, I applied and was granted a full scholarship from the Brunei government to study biotechnology undergrad degree in the States at University of California, Davis. I'm very grateful and appreciative of the experience, because not only was I able to obtain a good education, but I was able to just experience life there a little bit. My school was really close to Silicon Valley. So it's the hub of like science and technology. You're within reach of Facebook, Google, and all these like innovative companies. So I felt there's this different energy that's out there, and being exposed to all these sorts of plethora of opportunities made me open my eyes to think, wow, there's a bigger world out there than just what we know. We just need to spend some time to look for these things. And during my time there, I was able to grab as many opportunities as I can. I got involved in things that I'm passionate about. Like I was involved in the Women Honor Society group, where we do a lot of volunteering for like homeless communities, and I was able to also secure a few lab internships. I dipped my toes into volunteering activities for like small startups and things like that. So it was really a lot of fun. It was a lot of new experiences. It was a good learning curve as well. So I was hoping this is something that I can do as well with selling on Amazon.
Right. So you've won 2 scholarships. You're like,
So far, yes.
so far, yeah.
So far.
Awesome. So how did you discover e-commerce? I mean, you of course you sell on Amazon, or you're trying to sell on Amazon, but you're also doing Instagram, and you've got a little channel with your cute kitty.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell us about your Instagram and how did you discover social media and e-commerce?
So how did I discover e-commerce? So first of all, it went back to how I was feeling, or basically what was my perspective of life at that time. So, after working for like a 9 to 5 corporate job for about, 4 to 5 years, for me, life feels stagnant at some point. And, I was desperate for like a new calling or new purpose. It got to the point where I was looking in the mirror and I was thinking, like, is this there all there is? Because I felt like I was living on an autopilot, like everything's the same, you're doing the same tasks, you're talking about the same thing over and over again. Like, you just want something, some magic into your life, right? So that's when I realized I need something new and I needed something fresh. So prior to this e-commerce venture, I was actually planning to study my master's in environment in Australia last year, like pre-COVID. So, but because of COVID, I decided to withdraw from the program because I did not think that it was worth the time and effort and energy to do to study that kind of field in this time because of the current situation. A lot of times when you're involved in environmental degrees, like it's best to be there in person because
Right.
you're dealing with the environment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after I withdrew, I was lost, but I knew that I could find something to replace that, that gap, right? So I started to look on the internet to see what are the viable options that I could do to use my time wisely and learn something new, something fresh. And then I stumbled upon the internet, and I YouTubed how to make money or something online, and I saw a lot of videos on Amazon FBA, and I was like, what is this all about? So I did a lot of research to make sure that this is like a legit business model. And after doing my due diligence and watching a lot of Jason Tay videos, and knowing that he was affiliated with Amazon Singapore that time, then I realized, okay, like I'm sold. Like this is legit. Like this is not a scam. I know that this is a real thing that people do. So that's when I decided, okay, yeah, I started researching, what Amazon FBA was about. It's still a steep learning curve, everything. I don't know all that there is, but I'm really excited to be part of the journey. And that's when I started to create a few IG accounts because I wanted to polish my marketing skills in terms of using social media platforms like Instagram or Facebook. So I'm already like creating content for my cat. I decided to just put in more effort and energy into choosing what are the right theme or right colors for my kitty Instagram, and how do I make a living out of this at some point, or how do I make her an influencer basically. So I created a few like content for her. It does take some time, but I was able to grab some of the things that I learned from YouTube and apply that in some of the social media platforms that I created.
Right. And you also did a bit of e-commerce by selling used clothes, right?
Yeah, so because it's COVID and like you can't really go out shopping. I I decided to me and my mom actually we decided to just sell some of our old clothes because we just didn't need too many clothes in the wardrobe. So I decided to create a thrift shop online, and what I noticed about the Brunei thrift clothes market was that a lot of people just post things, but they don't make a lot of effort marketing it. They just take a picture of it, like like in low, like poor lighting, and then just take a
Mm.
picture of it and then post it there. And I realized maybe if, if you were to put a little bit more effort, maybe, to make it look nice and presentable, people will, buy your clothes, even though it's just regular clothes, even though if it's just thrift clothes. So I've got a lot of buyers buying my clothes and my mom's clothes.
That's pretty awesome. So you've gone from
Yeah.
selling stones to cartoons to keychains and now clothes.
Yeah, it's really
That's pretty
fun.
cool. Yeah. And so tell us, what is the e-commerce situation like in Brunei? I mean, are there any e-commerce websites that are popular there? And, do people, like to shop online, and is e-commerce growing there just like it is in other countries?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, um, e-commerce is very, very new in Brunei. People do go online to buy and sell things, but they usually buy and sell things on Facebook and Instagram, because that's where the bulk of the traffic are. So there's actually a few e-commerce websites in Brunei, but they're not fully optimized, or not a lot of people know about these e-commerce websites. So that's one thing right there. I think the idea is there, but there's maybe not a lot of support from relevant stakeholders to make sure that it can really take off, basically, because the bulk of the population still shop and buy things on Instagram and Facebook, and not a lot of people like change, and I think if you wanted to create an e-commerce website and get people to buy from there, there's going to be you're going to need to do a lot of marketing to make sure people know about this website and things like that. Just like how Amazon Singapore is currently like trying to attract sellers. They're putting a lot of energy and effort into their program, seller program, and all that stuff. So I think if the Brunei market is able to do that, and I think it would be okay. The other thing is Bruneians are definitely tech savvy. Like my grandma uses WhatsApp, and like she watches things on YouTube. It's just that I think there's just not proper direction or guidance to make sure that e-commerce can actually set a good foundation, basically.
Right. Well, I guess you are going to change that pretty soon.
Well, we'll see, but I hope so. I mean, that would be exciting.
Yeah. So, what exactly appeals to you about e-commerce? What is it about this whole business of e-commerce and Amazon FBA that is attractive to you and appeals to you?
Okay. So I think number one, it's just the idea of selling things online without touching the product, and you could be selling things in another country. So that itself, it's already attractive enough for me. The idea seems to be alien, like maybe 10 years ago, but it's doable, it's feasible. So I'm pretty sure, if you pitch the idea to anyone, they would be willing to like delve into this kind of business venture. The second thing about Amazon FBA, I think what attracted me the most would be, being able to work remotely, and the flexibility of it is very important to me. Because currently I'm working, as a pharmaceutical salesperson who is, always out like doing calls, and like my time is pretty flexible as well. Like I am able to, schedule my time according to my client's availability. So like if I wanted to move to another career, I think flexibility would be one of the things that is my top priority. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the idea that you can sell anything from anywhere
Why
is
not?
pretty exciting. Yeah, and without even touching the product, right? I mean, that is just so incredible. And sometimes
Yeah.
it just seems like a scam, like not legit. Like,
I
how's
know.
how's that even possible? But it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's incredible.
exactly.
So, you put a lot of effort to create that Spark video, and for all of you listening, if you do want to check out the video, go into the Asian Seller Facebook group. You'll be able to see Farah's video over there. So, what was your motivation to create that video, put in so much effort into it,
Yeah.
to get this scholarship? What was your kind of motivation? And of course, we have to thank your brother too, because he
Yes.
contributed a lot to that video as well, right? So, tell us
Yes.
about, first of all, the whole process of making the video, and then what were you thinking at that time, and yeah.
Okay, so I was just thinking about this myself, like what push or like what took over my body and like what took over me basically to create
Yeah.
all this video and like how did it come about? So I think I have always been that person to have this mantra, and my mantra is all or nothing. Like it's all or nothing for me. And I apply this in every aspect of my life, like relationships or career or even, an idea or something. For me, I always, try to do the best that I can. I don't know, maybe that's just an overachiever kind of trait. It can be tiring sometimes, but I can't help it. So okay, so basically that was what I guess drove me to start making the video. So I the whole process of making the video took about a week or less than a week, maybe 5 days. um, I took one whole day to brainstorm what kind of message I wanted to portray. And I was basically trying to get in tune with my emotions and how I feel about, e-commerce business. So I was trying to see how I can translate that into, something visual, like on a video. So I decided to, visualize like, okay, like, like at the mountain, looking at the mountain. Cause like it's, every time you look like at the mountain, you feel, inspired, right? Because I don't know, nature just does that to you. So I decided I wanted to involve nature. I wanted to involve, and some sort of vibe. So I wanted like an energetic, inspiring, driven kind of vibe. So I thought, okay, maybe I could do a few of some of my workouts that I do like in my weekly basis, right? So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a few of these, stunts or something. And I decided, okay, I can't do this alone, so I need to loop in my brother. He almost didn't make it. But then I managed to, talk to him, and I said, I'm gonna like, bring you out to eat and stuff. So
That
he's like,
always
okay,
works,
fine.
right?
Yeah, and I said, okay, fine. So after brainstorming and planning, we decided to go, out on the field to like shoot some videos, right? So the first day we went to the park and shoot some videos of like the river. Just I wanted to show a little bit of my identity as well. Of like who I am and like where I came from, right? The second day, we went to we basically went to the jungle. And it's actually like a new hiking path that they created last year. So it's like a new pathway, and that place is really popular with hikers. But because it was the New Year's, there's not a lot of people at that time, so we pretty much had the entire pathway like all to ourselves, which was nice. um, for that, we woke up really early. We woke up at like 5 a.m., had some breakfast, and then went to the jungle to shoot some videos. The whole time I was telling my brother, you're gonna lose a lot of weight, so don't worry. He's like, yeah. So we were having a lot of fun creating the video. So after 2 days of shooting, came back home. I didn't know what to expect in regards to editing. I literally just, started to go on YouTube and try to find out, so how do you actually edit a video? Because I had no idea.
So
I had
this
no
was the
idea.
first time you're actually editing a
It
video.
was the first time that I was going to edit a video. So I didn't know how hard it was going to be, or, how time consuming it was going to be. So I went on YouTube and realized that, you can actually, use iMovie, which I already have on my MacBook for free. So It was a steep learning process, but the entire time I was feeling more like excited because I didn't know that I could actually, create such edits, and it was really fun. So yeah, there's a lot of things I learned on the go that motivated me to, keep on going and, create more like scenes and stuff like that. And it was really fun. Like I think I really enjoyed the whole process.
So during the process, was there anything that you learned about, yourself or about the e-commerce journey that you're embarking on? I mean, were there any realizations for you during the process?
I think, yes, I definitely think that, there's no need to think about every single detail at the start of whatever that you're doing. Like along the way, you will encounter, some sort of stage where, okay, this is the time where you need to think about how to edit, this scene and insert like a photo or something. That's not something that you have to think about at, in the early beginning. So, I think that's one thing that I learned, that you can always learn on the go and don't overwhelm yourself with too many details at the start. Because if I knew that I had to do all these things, I might feel a little bit discouraged at the start,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of just going with the flow, putting all your effort in and just enjoying the whole process. So
So what did you feel when you saw the email that you have won the scholarship? What went through your mind at that time?
well, it was really obvious that I couldn't believe it because I because I took half an hour to like just calm down before I replied to your email.
Yeah.
I was just like, is this for real? Because I needed to reread the email just once or twice and see that, oh, I actually did win something. Is this actually from the Asian seller? Let me just check again. Yeah, it was a very good feeling. It was the same day that my Amazon account got approved for registration as well, because as you know, that did take some time as well to register my account.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us about that story, because I
Yeah.
think that is so important for people to hear, because just to open your Amazon account took you how long, and how many times did you have to go to multiple offices? And I mean,
Yeah.
if it were somebody else, they would have like given up at, the first stage itself. So tell us a little bit about all of that experience. And yeah.
Okay. So all this happened maybe back in August or September, when I decided, okay, I want to open an Amazon account. This should be easy, right? Like, what do I need to collect? What do I need to do? So then I realized, okay, so first of all, you would need to have a utility bill that reflects, ideally your name on the utility bill of, and it shows the address of like where you're operating your business from. So that would be my house. So at that time, the address was under my mom's name. So I wanted to just change it to my name so that it'll be easier. And then I was also cross-checking with my bank statement as well, trying to see if my address match, right? Um, but okay, I'll just start with the utility bill first. So first of all, the name wasn't under my name, so I needed to change that. And the address was not accurate. Like it was the address that was dated back before they changed the whole village's name. Like it was
Mm,
supposed to be Kampong Kilanas, but then it was Kampong Sental, which was like a village that was the name was created like maybe before I was born. Before, yeah, they didn't update it basically. So
okay.
first of all, I went to the water department to ask for like, an update for my address. And also I wanted them to put in my name, right, instead of my mom's name. And they're like, okay. And then they called me back within 2 weeks. And then I came and like, and just to, just to share, usually when we deal with, governments in Brunei, we would have to write a letter usually, and officially write a letter to the department to ask for some sort of request. That's usually the norm. You can't really do a lot of requests like online. That's not how things work here. So anyway, I wrote the letter and gave it to them. And then they came back to me after 2 weeks and gave me the address, and I looked at it, and then there was a lot of like, missing commas, and like there's some errors here and there. They didn't spell out, certain street name in full, the numbers were not correct. And then so I needed to go back there and said, hey, can you change this again? Because it's not the address that I wanted. And then I think it was like really, it was such a hassle because they didn't want to change at the time. Like I was dealing with another person at the counter, and she was like, oh no, you would need to have some sort of, approval or something. It didn't make any sense. Like she was like, oh, you need to pay your bill first, and then we'll change your address and update it. And then actually no, she said that you cannot change your address because you need to actually get the actual your actual address information from the survey department. So that's another government entity, right? And so I went over there and I went into the heart of the department where, it was the person who was actually making the changes or any updates. And she said to me, oh, this hasn't been updated in years. So, okay, just give me some time to look into this, and then, I'll update your information. That woman was really fast though, because I got my updated information within a week. So I got a new update, brought it to the water department, and then she goes, this is the same person, and then she goes, oh, well, we still can't do it because you need to do something. I can't remember what it was. I was so pissed. I was so angry. I was like, can I just talk to your director? Because like I just want, I just want a little change. I just need you to add a comma and like spell this out in full. I think they got scared because they were like, okay, I will just bring you to the person who actually makes the direct changes here. We'll bring you to her. So they.
So you actually went to their back office then,
I
right?
did. I went to the back office. I could see the files everywhere. I could see like the no entry, only employees, signboard. I went into there and I actually spoke to the person who was making the direct changes. And I told her, this is how I want it to be. I need you to add the space. I need you to add the comma. I need you to spell it out this way. I need everything to be uppercase, all these little things. Yeah. And I, the whole time they're just looking at me like, why? Like, what are you talking about? But, I explained to her that this was mainly for, business, right? And then that is going on outside of Brunei. So the moment I said that, they're like, oh, okay, then they understood.
Makes sense. Okay.
Of course, like along the way, there were, times where they forgot to add, a word or like a code or something. So I had to call them again and get them to change that. The whole process took weeks or even months, actually. Because,
months, yeah. So you started in August, right?
Yeah, the whole process, it took months.
Wow.
So that was for the utility bill.
Then there was another process, is it?
Yeah, because I needed to also submit my bank statement, right? So with the bank, I guess it was slightly easier because I didn't have to go through multiple departments. But before I talk about the credit card statement, I actually, for the utility bill, I forgot I had to mention that I actually have to also go to the immigration department to update my name. Because they wanted to make sure that it was me. They basically what I'm trying to say is that at that time, whenever you make changes to your official document, you need to bring your little ID card. And so my ID card was not the name was not the same as the name in my passport, because they took out my gender word in my passport, because at the time the system was not able to contain all the names, so they had to cut out some of the well, at that time they cut out my gender name. So the gender name is something that is commonly used in Brunei, especially for Muslims. Like that's just another topic, just another side topic to talk
So
about. But
basically, you had to go to three different departments multiple times just to get the address for Amazon. And then the
yeah,
bank is a different one.
that
So,
one's a different one, because when I wanted to change the address with the bank, they're like, "Oh, we need to see your ID because that will go with well, basically it's a verification process that they need to use." And so I realized my name in my ID is not the same as my name in my passport. So I was like, okay, I need to sort all this out. So I went to the immigration. I went to the labor Department of Labor, got my name changed. Spoke to a couple people. Got their phone contact just in case they screw up. um, Went there a couple times. Like I was being like persistent, basically. But at the end of the day, everybody was able to meet my needs, and I was like, okay, finally.
so here, right here, I think this is what really defines, a successful Amazon seller, because even in this Amazon e-commerce business, there's so many roadblocks along the way. There's so many
Yeah,
little things that you will have to deal with. And this kind of determination, this persistence, grit, I think will really help you go very far in
yeah,
this e-commerce business. So
yeah,
fantastic. And so
yeah,
you got all of that, you got your Amazon account approved on the same day that you received the email about the scholarship, right?
yeah.
How cool
Yes,
is that?
I
That was like your
know.
lucky day.
It was my lucky day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
Awesome.
yes, it did take some time to go over and sort out the red tapes,
Yeah.
within outside of Amazon, basically, because I needed to get my name and address and all that sorted out. But yeah, it's worth the
Wow.
battle.
I know you did it. My gosh. What a sense of achievement that must have been. So, how did you find Jason's training? Then you attended Jason's training as well last month in January. What did you think about that?
Yes, I will say that it was definitely worth my time. It is something that is a game changer, I feel, because he has a system to ensure that if you wanted to find a product, then there are certain steps that you need to do to make sure that it is a viable product. Because if I didn't take his class, I think I know about Amazon selling and how to do product research, but my way of doing things, I think it's a little bit out of, it's just a little bit messy, and there's not a proper system to do it. So Jason, he taught us, a system to actually find a product. So I think that is really good because it's based on something analytical and based on, evidence, basically. Yeah, not proven evidence, but at least like some sort of a substance to show that, okay, maybe this product is viable for selling and things like that.
Yeah, like keyword
Keyword
search volume.
research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And so, where are you currently in your Amazon journey, and what plans do you have for the future now, for the near future? I mean, do you have any products in mind that you want to
Yeah.
start sourcing, or have you thought of your brand name? Like, where are you in the journey now?
Okay, so I already have a few products in mind. I just need to sort out the, ballpark cost estimates and also try to find places to source these items. In terms of branding, I'm not there yet because I still want to find out what are the products that I'm sourcing first. And also, the first product may not be a success. That I know for sure because it's something that I'm doing as a beginner. So I'm just setting a mindset that if it works, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Like I will take this first attempt as a big learning process, because I realized that when I was doing the product research, there's just so much to consider, the size of the product, the colors of the product, what kinds of designs do you want, what kind of suppliers do you want, do you want it custom made, or do you want it like just something that you buy from Alibaba, things like that. So there's a lot of like variables to take into consideration. So I'm still in the researching phase, but I am hoping to move on from there soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think product research or, deciding on the product that you want to sell is probably the thing that should take you the maximum
The
amount of
longest.
time, and you should put in a lot of effort into that for sure.
Yeah.
So what is your strategy going to be? Are you going to maybe test the product by ordering a smaller quantity and then see how it goes, or are you going to like just go all in on a product?
My approach to selling on Amazon is definitely I'm going to do some test. I usually don't prefer buying something in bulk, and I don't think I have the means to. That's why. But my approach would be to buy a few units, test it out, and then buy more if it's viable, and then continue from there, and then maybe start branding the product, and then buying other kinds of product within the same niche, and then moving on from there. So yeah, that's my strategy.
Fantastic. And are there any other like Amazon sellers or groups or any communities in Brunei that you can be part of?
No, not
No,
at the
not at the moment.
not at the moment, but it's something that I hope that that we by we I mean me and some other unknown sellers that I don't know yet, we
Yeah.
could build like a community and actually learn from each other and like help each other out in times of need.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. Maybe you can do like the Asian seller Brunei chapter or something over there.
If you're gonna allow me to use the word Asian seller, sure.
Yeah.
Asian seller.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
Mm.
Yeah, you could do that, sure. And of course, once we can start doing meetups and once we can start traveling, I mean, I would love to come there as well. It seems like such a
Yes,
beautiful country in your
it
videos,
it
a lot of
is.
nature. So yeah, it'd be great to, visit there. Hopefully we'll
Oh
be able
yeah,
to start traveling soon.
I know, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, awesome. Well, Farah, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and we will catch up again in maybe the next, 6 months, 8 months. Let's see where you are in your journey, and we'll do another follow-up call to see how you've done and how fast you reach your seven figures.
Yes, yes. And if I could just say a few words before, we end the call,
Sure,
I just wanted to
absolutely.
say that, yeah, so I wanted to just say that, life is short,
Mm,
and, not a lot of people understand the weight of these words until they have experienced some sort of loss, of someone they love, or someone they know. So recently I've gone through some sort of loss, and I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart that losing someone taught me that you shouldn't care about what people think, or do things that don't serve you. Don't sweat the small stuff, and really just live the life that you want. No, at the end of the day, it's you who make the decision for your life, and you're the one living your life, not others.
Thanks a lot for doing this call
That's true.
today, even though you have this issue with at home and you have a loss at home, but you're still doing this call over here. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries.
Cool. Okay, Farah. So we will stay in touch. I will see you in the Asian Seller Telegram group, and yeah, keep us updated on how you're doing.
Sure. Thank you so much, Megla. I'll be
All
hearing
right.
from you soon.
Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye.